Who's
Hello.
opening?
Huh? Sorry.
We're professionals here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're hosting,
Mm.
right?
I, sure.
Oh,
Technically, yes. Technically, yes. Yes, because I've seen the movies.
okay. Cool. Great. I thought I made my stance on it last week that I didn't know anything. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another installment of the Two Raccoons in a Trench Coat podcast. This week, we are not just two raccoons, but with a new guest joining us. First off, we are following up on our last week's podcast with another similar topic here for this episode. I'm some guy with a hat, joined as always by our host for the episode.
Some guy with a microphone. And please give a warm, welcoming applause to our newest guest to the show, Sam.
Hello.
Sam, it's
Hello.
good to have you on. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do? What's your day job like? And how did you end up on the Two Raccoons podcast?
Well, my day-to-day life mostly involves right now managing a successful island resort on the small island of Cordial, which of
hmm
course is my Animal Crossing island that I recently restarted.
hmm
And I ended up on this Two Raccoons podcast because I wrote in fan mail.
Mm.
That's right,
Y-
folks. Bribery works. Send us a message. You can leave comments below, send us an email at tworaccoonspodcast@gmail.com with two C's, two O's, no spaces, or you can find out where we live and send it to us that way.
But Sam did.
Yep.
Yes. Well, yeah. I've
We
been
should
friends
really
with
get a
one of the hosts since high school, and then the other host for almost 4 years
yeah, 4, almost 5.
now. Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, right as we started this recording, we might have realized that we aren't entirely prepared for this one. Do we have trivia for this episode? Some guy with a mic?
No, we do not. We do not have trivia for this episode. Simply because this longtime viewers of the podcast will know about the Witcher episode. In which case we had one of my longest and nearly oldest friends, Kieran Ascara, CEO of Azure Drake Studios, game coming out soon to be determined. Don't ask me too many questions. Um, was able to regale us about the Witcher storyline, as he has more comprehensive knowledge than the co host and myself combined. In this episode, we're going to take a step back from being the dynamos of the podcasting world. Number 3 podcast on Spotify that I've listened to this day. The door is open, Captain. You can come on in. Captain's in the studio. Please hush. I'm trying to be professional here. So we're going to take a step back and we are going to let Sam regale us with today's topic. And Sam, what is today's topic?
Well, first, I would like to say I was so excited to absolutely decimate you both at trivia regarding this topic. I'll have to go cry about it and write about it in my diary later. Ironically enough, our topic today is The Princess Diaries, the movie version.
You know, I can ask you guys like 3 random questions. Do we want to do that? Do impromptu trivia?
Sure, why not?
Always.
All right. Some guy with a mic, why don't you step out of the studio for just a second?
I shall. I'll go throw the ball for the cat.
All
Come
right.
on. Let's go take the ball around the room.
Because we are professionals, this round will not be
Woo!
timed, and I hope I remember each question that I ask. So, I know I don't have to ask you. I know you're ready. Question number 1, off the top of my head. What is the full legal name of the main character?
It is Amelia Mignonette Thermopolis Rinaldi.
Question 2. What is the name of the head of security?
Joseph.
Question number 3. How old is the main character at the start of the film?
At the start of the film, she is 15 years old. She is just short of her 16th birthday.
All right. Way to go. You successfully completed impromptu trivia. Let me get our co-host or our main host back in the studio. Yeah, it's wonders what you can come up with in trivia when you actually know what you're talking about.
We're back. All
It's
right.
true.
Guess, how do you think you did?
I think I smashed it.
All right.
Very good.
Are you ready, host, for your
I
round of impromptu trivia?
I'm ready.
All right. Question 1. What is the full legal name of the main character?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Question 2. What is the name of the head of security?
Don Cheadle.
Question 3. How old is the main character at the start of the film?
16.
All right. How do you feel like you did?
So I do know that Don Cheadle is well known for his social security rules, and I'm also very aware that Ruth Bader Ginsburg, this was her last movie before her passing. So I think I've gotten 2 out of 3.
All right. Well, I admire your confidence. All right. Going over the first question, I think I asked you all the same questions in the same order. Question
Yeah, you did.
1. What is the full legal name of the main character? I forget what some guy with a mic said, but I know he was wrong. Sam, I believe you got that completely correct.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Question 2. What's the
It,
name of the head of...
for some guy with a hat, it is Amelia Mignonette Thermopolis Rinaldi.
Yeah. I was expecting that to be a trivia question. So every time it came up in the movie, I'm like, I should remember this. I should remember this. And I try to remember it and I just couldn't.
Mhm.
Question 2. What's the name of the security officer or the head of security? Sam said Joseph or Joe. Uh, some guy with a mic said Don Cheadle. Of course, Sam is correct. It is Joe, who is probably the best character in the movie, in my opinion. Question 3. How old is the main character at the start of the film? Some guy with a mic, you said 16. Sam said 15. One of you is very close, and that would be you, some guy with a mic, because she's 15 at the beginning of the film. She turned 16 at the end.
No
So,
kidding.
with that, another classic round of trivia here where the guests absolutely smashed the co-host and the host. 3-0. Congratulations. How do you feel about your win?
I feel great. I studied up just for this.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to pass it back over to the host.
Thank you, co-host. Now that we've gotten trivia out of the way and we've proven our guest superiority in the matter of this topic, guest, why don't you start us off with telling us your thoughts on there's only 2 movies, correct?
Yes, there are only 2 movies currently.
Okay, I was pretty sure I hadn't missed a third. So let's start at the beginning. We're talking just about the cinematic universe here, the PDCU, yeah, as it's often referred to. Uh, please fill us in on what happens, who our major players are, and of course, what this film means to you on a spiritual level.
All right. So to break down the movie itself, it follows Anne Hathaway as Princess Mia, though she doesn't start out as Princess Mia. Her father has recently passed away, and her father's mother, her grandmother, has come to visit. And so at the first meeting with her grandmother in the movie, she's never met her before. Mia finds out that she's actually the heir to the Genovian throne and has to decide within a matter of weeks if she is going to accept this princess title and become the next queen of Genovia eventually, or if she's going to renounce the title and Genovia as a country itself will stop existing,
Classic coming of
according
age
to this part of the
story.
movie.
You know, every teenager has to struggle with some form of this story in their own personal lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's Princess Mia is the main character, and she's followed along by her spunky friend Lily Moskovitz and Lily's brother Michael Moskovitz, played by Heather Matsurao, and oh gosh, I can't remember his name, but he's a Schwartzman. Fun fact:
Hmm.
Jason Schwartzman's brother. Um,
Hmm.
Queen Clarice Rinaldi is played by Julie Andrews. Uh, There is Mandy Moore plays the villain in the movie. Fun fact. Her name is Lana. And then Josh, who unknown actor, he just kind of his big thing was this movie, is Mia's semi love interest.
Do we know who plays Joe?
His name is Hector. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head.
Yeah, so why were you so excited to talk about this for this episode?
Well, I listened to a lot of, I've listened to the Two Raccoons podcast before. And you've invited me on for a couple of topics where it's like, I know some stuff about it, but I don't feel like I'm a definitive source of knowledge. If there's anything I feel like I would be a definitive source of knowledge on, it would be The Princess Diaries. I loved the movies when they came out. I watched both of them within the release year. And I've also read every single Princess Diaries book, including the spin-off adult series. I have read the Princess Mia's Tales from Her Half Sister, and I've also read the book that Princess Mia herself wrote within the series that was then published and turned into a real book.
Okay, I I didn't know the lore went so deep here. What?
Oh,
No, what
there
is any
are
of that?
a ton of books. So the books are quite different from the movies. I love the movies, and then after reading the books, I fell so in love with the books that part of me was like, these movies are dumb. I'm over these movies before I grew up and realized that we could just appreciate things the way they are. For example,
And
in the oh, sorry,
and
you go.
what age did you discover we can appreciate things, art forms in the medium at respectable? What age was that?
I would say it was probably around 22 when the lockdowns hit and I was stuck at home. And what else were you doing other than reliving and watching a bunch of comfort shows from your childhood or movies that you'd once loved and realizing like things can just kind of be the way they are. A book you might have loved as a child might not hold up when you're an adult, but it still brought you that joy when you were young.
Yeah, I
That is
mean,
so
some of
true.
us were getting emails from HR telling us to come back to work, even though we had doctor's notes telling them that we couldn't. But I guess everyone has their own different experiences through that history period.
I never stopped working. I never
Uh, I
stopped.
I graduated college into the pandemic. So as I was applying for jobs to, you know, go to after I graduated college, my friends were starting to receive acceptance letters from jobs and then be immediately let go because they were
Oh,
downsizing. So I didn't find a job right away after school.
understandable. Good to take a gap year, backpack through Europe and all that.
Yeah.
So I have a couple points that I wrote down as I watched the film. And funny story I'll get into. I think it would have been good earlier to confirm which film series we were talking about because I thought originally we were going to be doing The Princess Bride. And that's also a film I had not seen. So I was like, I might not watch it before the podcast episode. I'll just go into it blind. But then I realized, no, we're talking about the Anne Hathaway one. I have seen that a long time ago, and I would
Mm.
happily rewatch it to refresh my memory. So, bit of a classic some guy with a hat dumbass moment, but we're here. All right, pulling up my notes that I felt points that I needed to tell you all about. All right, first one. I guess we only have 2 points here. Um, that song that they sing in the choir, like right before she goes to her meeting the grandmother for the first time, that's
Yes.
sung on Lost. It's Catch a Falling Star. Claire sings that to Aaron. I guess I really wanted to you guys to know that because as soon as I heard it, I'm like, Leo meme, Lost. I know that. All right. And the second one,
Is this the first mention of Lost in the second season?
um,
I think
did
it's
I
gonna be our first time mentioning Lost.
did I slip anything in the last episode? No, I don't think so.
Not that I recall, and I'm usually pretty good at Leo memeing, going, "Ha! He likes Lost. I know that one."
Yeah. All right. We're building to something massive, but we'll get there when we get there. All right. And the second point that I have, Sam, I have to ask you a personal question. Um,
Oh, okay.
is this where you got your step into my office bit? Because I
It
noticed,
is.
sorry,
No, no, go.
I noticed about three-quarters of the way through the film, uh, one of the characters, I think, tells Mia, like, hey, step into my office as they're outside, and then he sits down outside with no office. And I'm wondering if that's where you got the inspiration from.
It actually is not. I think the step into my office thing started more in kind of like my beginning early college years with my sisters when I'd come home for family dinners and we'd all be at the table together and somebody would make a joke and then one sister would turn to the other, go step into my office and put up little blinders around their eyes so they were only looking at whoever was there they were addressing in their
Ah,
office.
thought I cracked the code there for a second.
No.
Yeah, also, I find it really funny how Mia is in the beginning is supposed to be this like dorky, not really like attractive person, but then they decide to cast Anne Hathaway. So
Yeah.
it's like you're not succeeding in what you're setting out to do here, but
Mhm. Exactly. I mean, this was towards, I think, the peak of kind of like, oh, this girl wears glasses. The movie itself only came out in 2001.
yeah.
Um, so it was like, oh, she has glasses and frizzy hair. Let's straighten it and pluck her eyebrows really thin. Anne Hathaway also at this time was not very well known. She hadn't been in a lot of movies. This wasn't her big break per se, but she still was kind of like a young and new enough actor that they put her in.
Yeah.
She actually got the role because during her audition she fell off a chair she was trying to sit in and they thought it was so funny and captured the spirit of Princess Mia so perfectly that they gave her the role.
That's exactly how I got it in my career. I just kept failing until they were like, "Yeah, put him up the chain."
That's a great thing to know that your personal financer has failed so many times they just decided to promote them.
Yeah, I work in a very specialized field. Remember, kids, failing upwards is a guaranteed strategy.
So, some guy with a mic, how recently have you seen these films?
Let's see. So I graduated high school in 2013,
Wow,
which means
old.
Mer-
hmm, let's see. So if that, let me do some math. I have to get a calculator out actually. Uh
that was
huh.
13 years ago, if that
Uh
helps.
huh. So if I'm not mistaken, the first one came out around 2000.
2001, as
2001.
previously
2001.
Okay.
established in the last thing Sam said.
Okay. Here's the thing. I was listening, but my brain was doing math at this moment, and I don't remember anything on doing math. So '01 puts me at about 6 years old, and I was being babysat at that age by my aunt, and my female cousins loved this movie and the sequel. Um,
Mhm.
as established, I think I've seen it close to 135, maybe 140 times.
Oh, wow.
Um, the, every day, that was the movie. That was it. It was sit down, be quiet, watch the Princess Diaries. Um, and as one of the only boys, I didn't have much of a voice. It was a democracy, and democracy doesn't work.
Mhm.
Um, so in '01, so I was 6 until to move to there. So I would say I last saw the first Princess Diaries around 2003, 2004 when I last saw it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's been about 20 years.
Yeah. So, I guess we just heard that some guy with a mic has watched this film uh, in the hundreds of times. Sam, can you compete with that number?
No, not at all. It's been maybe 5.
Okay.
I mean, this was like a big kind of like, oh, you're at a sleepover. Let's watch the Princess Diaries kind of movie.
Let's rewind the clock. I'll make sure that your mom lets my aunt babysit you, and you can watch it every single day.
Okay, sounds good.
Would you still hold this film in that high of regard if you had to watch it every day for 4 years straight?
I mean, probably not. Anything you have to watch over and over again is gonna just kind of wear you down.
Yeah. What is your favorite part about the first film? It can be like a scene or it can be an aspect of the film itself.
I think something quite fun about the first movie is when Mia and her grandmother kind of have that day out where they get to understand each other a little bit better.
Hmm.
I think it's fun and it is very unique to the movie because this is not at all how the relationship was in the books total. Like it is, they are at each other's throat essentially in the book
Mm.
series. To have this fun moment in the movies is it's enjoying to, it's good to watch.
Yeah, like when I thought back on my memory of the film, for some reason I thought Meryl Streep played the grandmother. And I'm not a huge fan of Meryl Streep, but I think this is a role that it sounds like if they went more the book route, faithful to the book, that Meryl Streep would be better fitted for instead of Julie Andrews.
I don't think I agree with that actually because in the books, so the I mean the biggest difference between the books and the movies is that Mia's father is still alive in the books.
Okay.
She sees him over, she spends all of her summer vacations with him, she goes over for Christmas, and she has a pretty good relationship with her father. Her grandmother is old and mean and smokes like a chimney and drinks nonstop.
Mm.
So I think they would probably have maybe a more I mean, not that Meryl Streep can't be a comedic actor, but I think they'd have more kind of like a Estelle from Friends kind of character
Mm.
playing Grandmere, as she's also called in the books.
Or one of like the Christmas Vacation great aunts or something like that.
Yeah.
I see.
Julie Andrews was also a huge part of the movie because Meg Cabot originally, when approached by Disney and asked to turn this into a movie, was like, absolutely not, absolutely not. She didn't want the grandmother to kind of play this big of a role. She thought it was crazy that they were trying to kill off Mia's father in the movie. And when they told her that they had Julie Andrews ready to play the queen, she said, kill the father, kill him now. I don't care how you do it.
Kill him. Kill him now.
Yeah. So Julie Andrews being part of the cast also shaped the movie.
So one of the only like images that I distinctly remember from my first time watching it, um, maybe it's from the second one because I didn't quite notice it, but it was is that take place more in Genovia?
Yes, so the second one takes place pretty much entirely in Genovia.
Okay, that makes sense because I'm seeing Anne Hathaway in like a orange-ish place like what we see at the end of the first film, like outside near like a brick uh small brick wall or something like that. So that's probably
Mm-hmm. Is
like
Chris Pine there in your memory?
possibly. I mean, it's I I probably saw both of them at some point,
Hmm.
but I just haven't remembered it until now. So, but no, like it was an enjoyable watch, not something that I would have picked out on my own. So I'm glad that you were so adamant about doing this for the podcast. I think it turned out to be a good uh, recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just kind
Agreed.
of a fun, low stakes movie.
Yeah, low stakes. I mean, an entire country hangs in the balance, but you know,
It's true. But what's important is that Mia believes in herself and she's able to make a speech at the end of the movie.
yeah. I it's also like has comedically not evil, but like evil adjacent villains because you have the cliche like bullies in high school, and then you
Hmm.
have the barons who at the dinner when the queen's walking up, they're like whispering to themselves like, "Oh, we will once again take control of Genovia." And it's like, really, dude? Everyone's here. Everyone just heard you say that.
Exactly.
Like
I know
it's
the movie's very funny in the way that it doesn't like Lana. I mean, you get she's the stereotype high school bully, like you're saying. They don't introduce these evil kind of Baron characters at all. They're just kind of in the background. There's no stakes involved with them, really.
yeah. Um, so the neighbor that's like a
Yes,
screenwriter or
Mr.
something.
Robitussin.
What's his deal? Like, is he like a notable screenwriter or behind the scenes gag? Because his one of his first lines is like, "I won an Emmy," and then he's like, "It's supposed to be a funny line, and it is," but I feel like if it's almost like it's making a nod towards the person who plays that character.
So I looked him up after he said that line when watching the movie again today, and I couldn't find anything. Like he might be somebody, but he's nobody notable. I wonder if that's just more of like how I don't know, in the 2000s when
Yeah,
kids movies were being made, they still had those kind of throwaway gags for the adults.
yeah.
Because that wouldn't have meant anything to me at 6. I don't know what an Emmy is, but
Hmm.
Is
to
his
my mother,
yeah? Is
it
his
would have been
daughter
fine.
named Emily? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some guy with a mic. Do you
Yes.
have a favorite moment from this, or is it
Yeah.
all?
Yeah, I do. Um, it's not a surprising one, but it's one that okay. When I first saw, okay, I want to put you back into time to be in little microphone's shoes.
Mhm.
I was really bad about secondhand embarrassment.
Oh.
Like I could not watch certain films because I would turn beet red
Mhm.
and people would think something was wrong with me. And there was, but it was psychological, not physical. So in the first movie,
Oh,
when Mia, I think you know where I'm going with this.
I think I
I
do.
think I do as well.
When Mia's talking to Clarice and she's handed the expensive jewelry box and fucking drops it.
And then like she's like, "Oh, it's gonna be safe," and then she like
Yeah,
bangs her
put it in her
bag up and
backpack.
down to move it in there.
Just boom. And it go and I don't know why, but as a child I was like, oh, this girl dropped something an adult gave to her. She should be mortified. It wasn't funny as a child. It was terrifying. Which speaks more to my childhood than I think it does anything
Yeah, I
else.
was about to say like
Um and
you're
as I got
expecting
I
some
older,
thought it
I
was gonna be the
heavy
cannot.
beach scene.
consequences. That's what I also expected you to say.
Yeah, yeah, no. I also like when she hits Josh in the balls.
It was
Yes.
the stomach, right?
It was the
No,
groin area.
it was below the belt.
Oh,
It was below the belt.
okay.
I remember because
You've seen it 150 times, so you would know.
yeah, that's part of it. Um Also I had when I was very little a friend named Josh who also got hit in the balls while we played T-ball.
Oh.
Um Unrelated to the movie, but I remember thinking of that scene every time I thought about playing T-ball and fun fact, you don't wear cups in T-ball, so he just got hit in the wang.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Thanks for
but
your
yeah,
sacrifice, Josh.
yeah. Wherever you are now, I don't know. I think he might be in prison. I don't know.
Yeah, like the girls are stereotypically evil, but at the same time, like right before the big mean thing at the beach happens, one of them
Mhm.
is like, "Wait, are we friends with her now?" And they say yes or something, but obviously most of them, or I think even all of them, uh, were in on the quote unquote prank, but it's more like assault. But Mia wasn't around to hear that, so I'm not sure why that line was included.
No, I part of me wonders if it's just kind of like filler, like, "Oh, we're here, we're gonna help," and they're also pulling one over on the audience.
Yeah.
I think the one not understanding that they were going to do the prank too is also just kind of one of those like early 2000s
Mm-hmm.
cheerleaders are, ditzes and the lackeys in a group will require their leader to do all the thinking for them. It's very Brittany
Yep.
Twin Santana from Glee, where Brittany's that one who's like has no idea what's going on at any given moment.
Yeah. Very much a tried and true stereotype that in almost any like childhood, middle school, early high school age drama event that you see in media around that time had those character archetypes in it.
Mhm.
What else do you want us to know? Like any fun trivia, anything that we gloss over, anything you want to point out that's good to know?
I don't know if I have any trivia off the top of my head per se. Something I did want to talk about is rewatching this movie today. How mean they are to Mia. Everybody is to
Mm-hmm.
Mia the entire movie.
Oh yeah.
Like her father has just passed away. Somebody that I mean, I don't know what exactly the extent of her relationship was in the PDCU, like you said earlier.
Thank
Um,
you.
but
Coining
her
that.
best her best friend is like he died like what, 2 months ago?
And you're
Get
still not
over
over
it.
it? Yeah.
They're mad at her for straightening her hair. She has to go to like princess lessons with her grandmother and she has to go to these big things and everybody's so mad at her for selling out or getting popular and even the bullies at school who you think would want to pretend to be friends with her while riding her coattails because she's a princess and the press are at the school all the time are still just awful to her.
Yeah. She really does get the short end of almost every single interaction. And that's kind of what surprised me. Like when the three friends, like Mia, her friend, and her brother, get in the limo and she just reveals the straight hair, she instantly rags on her. And I'm like, why are you doing this? This is so out of left field for someone who's a best friend character. That's not something that I was expecting to see in this at
It's
all.
interesting because Lily in the books as well is also a monster.
Oh,
She's very much like self-actualized. Her both of the Moskovitz parents are therapists, so Lily has been so over therapized that
mm,
she thinks she's one. But I mean, Mia, in some extent, in the books is also like that. They're very over the top about gentrification in the city because the books also take place in New York City instead of San Francisco. Um, and the Peace Corps and Mia is a vegetarian. She gets very mad when people do not respect her vegetarianism. But I don't. So it's like they softened Mia quite a bit, and they didn't soften Lily at all. So I feel like that how angry she is all the time.
yeah.
It seems harsher.
Do you want to delve into the books a bit? I mean, it seems like, the film adaptation is just like a loose adaptation at this point from what you've been saying.
It is. I mean, it's quite a loose adaptation. They take some of the horror components. So like Mia in the movie, Mia's mom goes out with her teacher, I believe her homeroom teacher or debate teacher.
Debate teacher,
It's
I
kind
think.
of unclear. Yeah. Um, and in the books, Mia's mom also goes out with her algebra teacher. That they actually in the books get married and have a kid together.
Oh,
I mean, the Moskovitz are still there. She and Michael do have a romantic relationship in the books. There's quite a larger age gap though. So Mia is 14 and a freshman in high school when the book series start, and Michael is a senior.
oh no.
Oof. Big
Yeah.
oof.
So they date for a little bit and then they break up and Mia dates somebody else and then she ends up marrying Michael. Um, and they have twins. I try to think. I mean, Lily is there. Lana is still a mean girl. Josh is still the name of her crush, but a lot of it's different. I mean, it takes place in an entirely new city, which I guess they wanted to have because I guess they had Michael repairing cars in the movie version. He wouldn't be doing that in New York because, who's driving? Uh,
Just works at a taxi repair company.
exactly. Well, in the books too, he's more into programming and robotics.
Okay.
Um, Yeah. I mean, Mia's still very nervous and she's invisible at school and she does have to do the princess lessons with her grandmother, except her grandmother the entire time is swearing at her in French and calling her an underbaked chicken breast.
Oh,
Um, yeah, her grandmother is brutal in the books and it's so funny. Especially as the books continue because I mean the book series follows Mia for quite a long time I mean, all through high school, there's a little bit into her college years, and then they stop, and then it picks up um, when Mia's getting married. I think the first book of the adult series picks up on her honeymoon to Michael,
Hmm.
or her honeymoon after her wedding with Michael, and then the half series or the side series of about her half sister. Um, I mean, Mia's a full adult, and her half sister's in middle school, so it follows quite a bit of her life, and it's strange to kind of see this
Mhm.
just a little condensed plot points in the movie. They also address the movie in the books. Mia writes in her, because the entire book series is it's Princess Mia's Diaries, which is why it's called the Princess Diaries.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And she talks about how they made a movie about her life, and they got it all wrong. Her grandmother is nowhere near as nice. Yeah, and I mean the second movie is fantastic. I think I like the second movie more than I like the first movie, but that's because the second movie has essentially they're just using characters from the books. It's an entirely made up story. None of it happens in the book, so it's easier to
Hmm.
kind of separate.
So
Yeah.
essentially, it's a fan fiction.
Yeah,
I like that.
an excuse to put Chris Pine in the PDCU.
Well, so guest Sam, how at what age did you kind of like discover and get into these movies?
The movies, I mean, that was probably elementary school that I was into. I don't remember watching it for the first time. I remember watching it because, again, it was like a sleepover type of movie that we'd watch because it's a Disney movie. But I think it's also something that parents would like because it is a Gary Marshall film,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
and it has a pretty solid cast and good acting and good writing.
Yeah.
But
Now,
yeah,
did you first
so
watch this on VHS or DVD?
probably VHS
Ah, the good
because
old
a lot
days.
of yeah.
So, if you, given how much time has passed from your first watching to today, how do you think this film has shaped your life and your trajectory?
Well, it always made me super interested in keeping a diary. I wanted to keep a diary just like Princess Mia, and I've kept one on and off throughout the years. I would say Bridget Jones's diary also definitely influenced it and how I write in my diary.
Okay, all right.
But I don't know. It made me Princess Mia was very concerned about the environment, so I should be concerned about the environment. Like she only agrees to in the books do the princess lessons if her dad agrees to donate money to the Save the Whales charity every month.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, it's
I
funny
don't know
you.
exactly how it's shaped me.
Sorry.
No, never mind.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up you've kept a diary. We actually have obtained a copy of it through our Canadian correspondent here, and let's
Oh,
pick up a few random pages. Uh,
Oh, page 8, page 8.
page 8. Page 8. Well, I messed up tonight. I told everyone we were with the guild, and now the entire party's mad at me. Um, but no, actually, like something you
Ah.
mentioned at the end there, where you're like, "Oh, she cares about the environment. I should care about the environment."
Hmm.
They kind of do that in the movie with I don't know who they are, but at the first dinner scene, the people she's sitting next to, when she takes that giant bite of was it ice cream or something and gets
yes.
brain freeze, they also act like her as well. So
Mhm.
it's like she's thrust into this position of people are going to imitate you no matter what, just because you have that title.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think he's like the minister of export. I can't remember what exactly he's the minister of. Um, but I mean, I think especially as little kids too, when you watch movies, you want to try to emulate them. You want to be like the actors. When you're so little, your sense of self is still developing, so you look to people around you in the media you consume to kind of shape that identity for you.
I
Boy, did I
really
screw
wanted to
that
be a
up. I am
semi
nowhere
truck that
near
turned into a
Batman.
robot.
I'm sorry, go again?
Huh?
Say that again?
No.
Oh, yes? I have questions.
Well, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
You go first, and I'll tell you what I said, because I'm afraid mine was more weird.
No, like Sam's talking about role models and wanting to be like the people you admire. I'm like, yeah, like I wanted to be a semi truck that turns into a robot when I was a kid.
You know, that's a dream we all have. I said I messed up because I didn't turn out anything like Batman.
Oh, well, eh, I mean, one half of that equation is probably we can all feel bad we didn't turn out like Batman, but the other half is like, yeah, I think we're okay.
On one hand, I'm not a rich billionaire playboy philanthropist. On the other, my parents are alive.
Yeah, kind of don't fit the qualifications on that one.
Goku would be so disappointed in me.
You know what you have to do.
But all right, very nice, very nice. So, now that you're an adult and you have, and this is also one for some guy with a hat as well, because I think I'd be interested in your take on this, acutely. So, using what memory you have of the first film, what would you change, uh, in a cinematography sense? Is there a way you would shoot something different? Would you portray something different? Would you add or remove scenes to make this story better to your specification of how you perceive it?
Um, Quite honestly, watching it now and I think comparing it to a lot of movies that are filmed today, I loved how bright and colorful
Mhm.
the movie is. I mean, it's something's happened. All the movies are too dark now, so it's refreshing to see something that's so well lit and has color and life to it. I think if I had to add scenes, I think there needs to be more between Mia and Michael because their romance at the end of the movie kind of comes out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he
Well, she's
needs
a
to be more
princess. She
developed. He
has to have
kind
a
of
prince.
Yeah, well, he just kind of wanders, like meanders throughout the movie. And I mean, the thing is he, he's heartbroken because she doesn't show up to fix the car with him. But it's not like she even forgot. Like with Lily, I will say that's the only time in the movie that I understand why somebody's mad at her.
Yeah.
Is she flakes out on going on to her best friend Lily's cable talk show, which is also carried over from the book series. Um, but Michael, like, she explains, like, "I can't go," and this is something he's known her for a long time because she and his sister have been friends forever, like, "Oh, she has this opportunity to go to this big party that she's always wanted to go to," and then he throws a fit, like it's all her fault, and she has to apologize to him, and then he comes. So I feel like there needs to be more work developing his character because he's just kinda in the background doing quirky things that feel, watching as an adult now, creepy, threatening, menacing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about you, some guy with the hat? From your knowledge of the film, is there anything you would add, subtract, or change, scenes wise, or just like contextual wise?
Yeah, so I agree with pretty much everything Sam's saying, and with stuff that they left out, it feels like they left the whole like mom dating a teacher thing like out of it because they bring it up, they say, "Oh yeah, sorry, never thought that it could be weird for you." And then at the very
Yeah.
end, the mom and the teacher are at the ball together. So it feels like some of that development is missing. Um, it's a 2 hour film, and
Mm-hmm.
like you feel the length there, but it also feels like they missed out on a lot of like stuff that you'd expect, like a little more like overcoming the bully stuff, a little
Mm-hmm.
more learning of how to properly be a princess. Like I remember there being a lot more of the posture correction and not crossing your legs moments than there actually was in the film. But in terms of like technical things and how the film looks, uh, in contrast, I watched the second X Files movie last night, and it was very much a late 2000s film, the way it was shot, the way it was color graded, just the whole cinematography to it. And this film, while not being like a Disney Channel movie, is very much like a live action Disney film.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So you can tell that there, and it with its dialogue, with its pacing, the performances. So I really wouldn't change anything there. maybe, give us a couple more scenes with Joe. I think he is an excellent character. Um, Without him, I don't think I would have enjoyed the film that much because he's that mediator between the two
Mhm.
worlds, where he is very much, he's head of security for the Queen of Genovia, but he's also trying to connect with this girl who is thrust into this and is at times her only friend or only ally in these situations. So I think a little more Joe. I mean, there was nothing lacking there, um, but just see a little more of him because I think he's a good character is what I would change.
That's very fair.
Yeah, it's weird because it is like you said, it's Disney-esque movie, and characters, a lot of them aren't fully ever developed because there's so many of them, so they do rely on a lot of those
Tropes.
tropes, such
Yep.
as high school bully, evil
Mhm.
baron. It conveys the what this character is about.
Mhm. What about you, some guy with a mic?
So, and this is gonna sound as I got older, I really think like Sam's point with the love interest is kind of like feeling shoehorned in. As a kid, I obviously you don't care because princess gets a prince. That's every single Disney movie has told us this is exactly how it goes.
Her
Um,
foot pops.
yeah.
I thought when she first said that, like, oh, is your like ankle crack like mine does? Because every time I move my left ankle, it pops like a knuckle crack or something. And no matter how many times I do it, it still does it. So I'm like, oh, that's a weird character quirk that they added in. And then it's like, oh no, you mean you lift your leg? That's a weird way to describe what you're talking about there, Mia.
um, I feel like there's a lot of relationships that should have. I mean, and again, like you said, it's a 2 hour film. We don't. This isn't a. This is not the 2001 Space Odyssey. We don't have 7 hours to go over every character in minute detail, but I feel like there's so many like major players that don't get enough of a rounding out to make you care about them. Um, and I would remove the jewelry box dropping scene. I would cut it out completely because younger me would be so grateful. Like I feel like I would heal like 15% of my modern day trauma if that just never happened.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot like I remember this movie not for its merits, but for what it did to me.
Mm. That's me with Spider-Man 3.
Oh
The whole
no!
the whole
All
scene
right.
where he's like infected by venom. Oh, I had to leave the room.
Oh my god.
I had so much
Oh
secondhand embarrassment.
like the like when Toby is like doing the finger guns and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Oh.
also find myself like it's just so cringy and it's like why do we have to have this in here? Like
Do you want to know something really terrible?
yeah.
So Spider-Man 3. What grade was I in?
It came out in like 2007, I think.
Yeah, 2007. So I was in 2001 was first grade. So like I was in like sixth, seventh grade debate, depending.
You didn't
Um,
do this, did you?
I thought I
Oh
was like,
no.
damn, he is fucking slick with it. I did not put in my adolescent brain that that was supposed to be cringy and kind of embarrassing. I was like, yeah, yeah, this whole Venom thing is dope. I want that. I want to be cool and suave. I want ladies to think I'm charming. And then, there's the neighbor girl with the cookies. Um and that's the point. That right there, that's where I felt bad. When she was like cookies and he's like, "Go make me like a dozen more of these." Like then I felt bad. That's when the cringe hit. Not until then. Everything before that with the chair scene and the pizzas
Yeah,
and
this checks
the
out.
yeah, I was like, "Damn. This man is uptown." So yeah, and I thought that way for a while, for a good chunk of time. I part of me still believes that Parker should have kept the symbiote for a little bit. A little bit. A little bit, you know? Like, we all need a little bit of paprika, you know?
Yeah, let me drink this weird alien goo that I found. Some sources have told me that it's pronounced Clorox, but we call it different things in different places.
Um, I also think this is a side tangent. I think the Venom movie would have been much more interesting if it was Peter Parker.
Instead of Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I hadn't
Because
thought of that.
I think it creates a better dynamic of going from like very good guy to very that like this like very much let's not play games. The symbiote's supposed to be bad, evil, and negative, and you mix that with Parker, and I think having like them find a common ground would have been more appealing than Eddie Brock, who's kind of a burnout loser, finding common ground with guess what, a burnout loser of his own kind. It's just Bill and Ted go to White Castle. We're getting off topic, but anyway, yeah, I'd remove the jewelry box dropping scene.
A bit of a fun question I just thought of. If this film was remade today, who do you think they would cast as Mia?
Ooh, oh my gosh. I
I
don't
have an.
Do
I already have. I
I know
already have
enough
a name.
young
I have a name.
actors? What's your name? What's your name? I want to hear it.
Zendaya.
No. I'm gonna say
No.
no.
All
Mm-mm.
right. Then who?
Zendaya is too glamorous. I think we need a younger actress. Um, and I will say, I don't think originally when these books came out, the race of Princess Mia mattered, but with the addition of her half sister's book, because they are making a Princess Diaries 3, Princess Mia's race does matter.
Oh, is Anne Hathaway still going to
Be-
star in it?
Yes, so Anne Hathaway
Oh,
and Julie Andrews are coming back. They're actively casting for Mia's half sister because Mia's half sister is half black.
Oh.
I didn't know Julie Andrews
Hmm.
was still alive.
Yes.
Wow, good for her.
You know what? Good for you for not being dead.
Like the entire time I'm watching it, I'm like, oh yeah, well, I appreciate her for what she did for acting, but it kind of sucks we never get to see her in anything again. Surprise, I guess. Uh
She just Crocodile Dundee you.
yeah. I was thinking of titling this episode "You Watched the Wrong Movie, Dumbass," but maybe I can still title it something about my knowledge about this franchise as a whole, because I guess I don't know much of anything.
Oh dear.
But yeah, um, I guess to make this question
Mhm.
a bit more, because like I also don't know. Maybe the kid from the new Stranger Things season, the younger sister, Holly. I think she's the
Mm,
only kid actor that I'm aware of at the moment.
I'm
yeah,
gonna
it's
be honest
hard
with you. I don't keep up on new actors and
Yeah.
actresses.
So like
in my advanced age.
let's say 10 years ago, or let's say all of the actresses that we know of, let's say they are now like 15 years old, or they would fit in this story.
Feel like maybe, I mean, to go Stranger Things again too, because I'm trying to think of any teen actors I know.
Mhm.
Sadie Sink. I mean, she's just a phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
She's somebody I could see.
Yeah, put her in a wig or
Mhm,
dye her hair. I think she would work
mhm.
pretty well.
Who plays 11?
Uh,
Millie Bobby
yeah.
Brown.
Mm. I I'd cast Millie Bobby Brown.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, if this was in the past, 10 years ago, if they made it, it would probably be one of the two Kiernan Shipka or McKenna Grace.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, they were
Who
everywhere.
who were who did they play?
So Kiernan Shipka was in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Okay.
She also played the younger version of every actress in a movie ever. McKenna Grace also played the younger version of every actress ever. I mean, they were any kind of flashback. I'm trying to think. McKenna Grace, I think, is in the newer Ghostbusters movies. I never saw those. Oh,
Okay, was
The ones
she
with the
in the Dungeons and Dragons movie?
no. So
No.
that is, I can't remember her name. I also do like her. She's quite funny. I saw her in Asteroid City. Um, that is her name. I'm looking up the actress's name right now. Sophia Lillis.
Yeah. Mm.
She's quite good. I think she's also been in the new Death Stranding movie. I believe Sophia Lillis was in that. Or not
That's
movie, the video game.
okay. I was about to say I didn't know they made a
Or
movie
she might be
already.
in the next. No, no, the sorry, I have movies on the mind. She might have been. I can't remember if she's in Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
Yeah, like the only other kid character I can or kid actor I can think of is Judith from The Walking Dead. And like I don't know if she can do the comedic parts. I haven't seen her in anything except
Mhm.
Walking Dead.
Yeah. No, Sadie Sink, I think, is the strongest contender for me because she has those big doe eyes like Anne Hathaway has.
Yeah. And she's probably around the same age that Anne Hathaway was when they filmed it.
Honestly, probably.
So,
How old was Anne Hathaway in 2001? I mean, she had to be early 20s, right?
like 19 at the youngest, probably.
Oh, 17. She was 17, 18.
17 at the youngest, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadie Sink is 23 currently.
Oh, well, hypothetically, in this hypothetical scenario that we have, I think it would still work.
Mhm.
If she could
And I think
pass off,
now,
hmm?
no, no, you go.
I think if she could pass off as still being a high schooler for 5 seasons of a show, I think she can work as playing a high schooler one last time right now in a movie. So,
Yeah.
but what were
And
you
I will
saying?
say, I think if they remade the movies now, then we'd have a good chance of Meryl Streep as grandma. She's the right age.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Pedro Pascal would have to be cast as Joe.
I'd watch that.
But yeah.
Originally, here's a fun fact for you. Originally, the dance scene between Joe and the Queen was not in the script. The
Oh,
actor of Joe actually brought it up, and Julie Andrews liked the idea so much that they went to production together.
oh, that's nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I always like when they make like a security guy more like part of the family, like Happy from Iron Man or
Mhm.
something like that. Is there anything else that either of you wanted to bring up?
I've exhausted all of my points on this.
No, I'm all good.
All right. Well, host, do you want to close it out?
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on the Two Raccoons podcast. If you would like to get in contact with us to suggest future episodes, maybe you want to star on an episode, maybe you want to suggest games for us to play on our stuff coming soon. We're going to be streaming Call of Duty World at War pretty soon. That's right, my favorite Call of Duty with a fun little twist that we'll announce when we get closer to doing it. Keep an eye out for that. We will drop our Twitches in the bio, but that's enough about us. Guest Sam, do you have any socials like to plug? Are you a streamer on Twitch? Do you do YouTube content? Do you have a TikTok you want to shout out? Anything at all? Where can our fans find you?
I'm actually unknowable, so I don't have any of those things. I actually deleted my TikTok last year.
Oh, I wonder what event made you do that. Well, I guess it's a mystery. We'll never know.
And with that, we've reached the end of the episode. It's once again our pleasure to have you on with us today, Sam. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for making the long trip into the studio. I know that the weather is cold and the days are short, but we do appreciate you coming out. Did you have a good time?
I did.
That's wonderful. And would you want to come back for a future episode?
Sure, if we can find a good topic.
Fantastic. Well, you heard it here, folks. Give us some good topics, and we will bring Sam to talk about those topics. Now, as for my co-host, where can they find you?
They can find me at Some Guy with a Hat on Twitch. Never streamed before, and it's spelled differently because there are a couple other people with that username too. So with capitals and underscores, who knows what I set it up as. But yeah, I just want to say if you have a topic you want us to do, put it in the comments below. Or you can go the extra mile, find our addresses, send us a letter. You know, one of our fans did, and they're now on the podcast. It could be you next.
It could be you. You can reach us at tworaccoonspodcast@gmail.com. That's two C's, two O's, no spaces. And you can find me on Twitch, or than us on Twitch, at some guy with a mic, M-I-C, not M-I, not microphone, and not M-I-K-E. So I'm gonna say, hey, don't you also own some guy with a microphone? Yes, yes, I do. That is also me. Um,
I said that, I think.
yeah, I own both mic and microphone, and it was by accident because uh, things are weird and emails are tricky. So, some guy with a mic here at twitch.com. I will put those links for us in the show notes so you can come and find us. Make sure to give us a like, give us a follow, and we're going to bring some fun content to you guys very soon. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, midnight, 3 a.m. downward spiral, whatever we hear you from next. Goodbye.
And remember, always wave with the short wave because then your arm won't get tired.